The 49ers often have a player on the bench who's pretty good but hasn't gotten an opportunity. And when he gets the opportunity, it's like, where have you been? Why haven't you been playing?
Yeah.
If there's one of those players on the roster this year, who do you think it is? Give me one bench player who really hasn't done much for this team, who you think deserves a shot.
Jacob Cowan, especially coming into this season. No, Debo's going to be gone. Brandon Ayuk's going to be late. They need a wide receiver. Jacob Cowan, every time he plays wide receiver, he looks freaking good. And he's the fastest wide receiver on this team. They need that speed element. That's a guy that I think has shown when he's had his opportunities that he's pretty damn good. It reminds me of the Jordan Mason situation a couple years ago when you're like, every time I see this guy, he looks good. Why isn't he playing? That's what Jacob Cowan looks like to me. So that's the route I would go.
Yeah, especially when Debo was really stinking it up last year. Like, why can't Jacob Cowan get like a few targets? The only thing with Jacob Cowan is he's so short. I wonder if he's a good fit with Brock Purdy, who's also on the shorter side for a quarterback. I mean, he does seem to like throwing to Kittle and Jennings, partly because he can see them from the pocket when he's surrounded by 6'5" offensive linemen. But I do like Jacob Cowan. It seems like he's open a lot. And even if like Brock has trouble finding him late in the progression, that doesn't mean you can't call plays for him. You could call shot plays for him. They did do that, and they hit. So I would agree with you on that. Jacob Cowan needs to have more targets this year. He's much better on offense than he is on special teams, in my opinion.
And height really doesn't matter on the deep shots, right? Like it matters more like in the middle. You're trying to find them, or you know, and
it's more like, I'm like working right to left across the field, and I'm like trying to find the fourth guy in my progression, and he's way over there, and I just can't find him. I don't exactly know where he is. But if he's like, it's like a stutter go, and you're my number one, like I see you, I can find you. Yeah, I think he's good for that, and that gives you an explosive element. Also, jet sweeps and screens, I think he'd give you something there too. Why not?
Yeah, that's my guy. Who do you got?
Okay, I'm going defense.
Okay.
And I'm thinking the Niners really have had a bunch of cornerbacks leave the team and have success. Akello Witherspoon's playing well for the Rams. Sam Womack's playing well for the Colts. I think a lot of times the Niners don't give these young cornerbacks a chance because, I don't know, maybe Kyle Shanahan doesn't want to or feels more comfortable playing someone like Isaac Yiadom. But I mean, even Renardo Green last year didn't really get to be a fixture in the defense until late. And it seemed like he was good all offseason. So I'm going to go with Darrell Luter Jr. He was a 5th round pick a couple of years ago. He's never really gotten a shot to play corner in a real game. He's big. He's fast. He was handpicked by Steve Wilks, who really knows cornerbacks. And just because he hasn't gotten on the field doesn't mean he's not good. Because, again, we've seen a lot of cornerbacks on the Niners not get on the field and then end up being good. So I'd like to see him get an opportunity to see what he can do. We saw him in training camp. I thought he looked good.
I think that's a good one, and I think they're going to have to. I mean, the Niners, like Renardo Green and Diamador Lenore, are both good. I like them both, but Charvarius Ward is leaving. And after those two, who else do you have on this team right now besides Luter? Like, it's another position of need.
I mean, like, they had Rock Ya-Sin playing last year. Like, stop that. Don't do that. Enough.
Yeah. I think Luter, this is the year we find out who Luter is. I think we have to, because they just don't have the depth at anywhere right now. They have 2 corners. It's kind of insane. Good ones, Renardo Green and Demo. Demo's one of my favorite players on this team, but they need to see what they have in Luter. They need Luter to work out. I assume they're going to go out and get some free agent corners and maybe draft another one. But right now, Luter is in prime position to get an opportunity, and I think that's a good pick.
Another guy, this guy's a free agent, but I felt like it was pretty clear. He looked like a better player than the starter. Ben Bartch. Look, like another one of these backups who you're not thinking about, who doesn't have any like standing on the roster because he didn't get drafted high or didn't have a big contract. But Aaron Banks, 2nd round pick, never really made much of an impact, goes down. Bartch comes in, looks like he was an instant upgrade. So I wonder if they bring him back, he could be cheap. I'm not saying just give him the starting job, but that's another guy. Like, remember Daniel Brunskill?
Mm-hmm.
That was a guy. Daniel Brunskill was a good starting offensive lineman that the Niners always sort of benched or made split time. That was a player that they probably should have given an extension to. He's gone. Maybe Bartch is like another Brunskill for them.
I thought they should have gave Ben Bartch. I know he injured his ankle, but I still thought, from what I saw, and would we have a game and a half? Mm-hmm. he looked like worthy of an extension at that time. So I thought they were going to do that already. They haven't done it yet. We'll see what happens, but I think that's a good call. I got another one for you.
Okay.
If he's healthy, and he might be a free agent. I don't have the list in front of me. But Curtis Robinson, the linebacker.
I like that.
When I watched him in the preseason, I was really impressed. And he's been with his organization, I believe, for 3 years now. And he seems very cerebral. Stanford guy. It sucks he got injured because I was hoping to see more of him. They're going to have a hole to fill if Greenlaw takes off. I'm impressed with Winters. We did get to see him. I hope Saleh can put Winters, just help him with his angles and stop missing guys because Winters flies around. But Curtis Robinson seems like the very smart, cerebral linebacker that the 49ers might need some of this year also.
I got another one. Nick Zakelj. Like, Jake Brendel is the worst starter on the team. Jake Brendel is old. Jake Brendel is small. Jake Brendel is not good.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nick Zakelj, I mean, they've been grooming him to be a center for 2 years. He's way bigger than Jake Brendel. I'd like to see him get a chance because I can't imagine that Jake Brendel's actually better than him.
I hope that Nick Zakelj isn't the answer.
Maybe it's Matt Hennessy or someone in round 3 this year. But if it's just those two, I'd like to see Nick Zakelj get up. He did start at center in the last 2 games or the last game, and I thought he was functional. I mean, he was not that much worse than Brendel.
I really hope they get Drew Dahlman and get a veteran in to play center. That's my hope. He would make a big difference for this team. So that's what I'm hoping happens. But you never know. It'd be interesting to see how he plays out. But yeah, I'm hoping it's a Drew Dahlman that we see at center, or this Matt Hennessy cat is better than Nick Zakelj. We got to see Nick Zakelj. He looked okay. But there needs to be something that happens to replace Jake Brendel because
here's why I think Drew Dahlman would be intriguing for the Niners.
Mm-hmm.
Because his dad was on the Niners, started for them, was on the team from 93 to 99. And he did technically start 4 games in 94 when they won the Super Bowl. So, I mean, if you're going to be bringing back all the, why not?
He is the best available option at center for the outside of a rookie, particularly for the running game that the 49ers have. Like, he's really good in his own running scheme. Like, that would be the best free agent pickup that they could make this year, in my opinion. He would make
but I bet you he gets like 4 years, $50 million. Good player.
Possibly. But Alex Mack, like, what did they pay Alex Mack at that time? Is it relevant?
Alex Mack was a lot older.
Yeah.
They paid Weston Richburg a little bit. Let's see how much did they pay 49ers sign Weston Richburg. I think it was 3 years, $30 million, something like that. No. Oh, damn. That was 5 years, $45 million. That was 2018.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, center is so crucial for your success. That I feel like that's where they need to. I mean, you're going to be extending Brock Purdy, making him $55 million a year or whatever it ends up being, and you're going to use Jake Brendel to block.
You know what's tough, though? You know what's tough about having a coach like Kyle Shanahan? So you want Drew Dahlman, right? Great fit for your scheme, for your offenses, your outside zone running game. Sure. He's also a great fit for the Seahawks scheme because they have Clint Kubiak. He's a great fit for the Dolphins. He's a phenomenal fit for the Texans. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great fit for hella teams. So that's going to be some competition there. They might have to pay for him. But like you said, they paid for Weston Richburg. I can't even talk today, man. You talk. I'm not talking anymore. Not done talking.
No, we need you to talk. There's still 9 minutes left, at least, of this show. So you got to bring it back.
That's a good point. Actually, I think I'm done talking. I mean, we're out of super chats. The Niners haven't traded for Max Crosby yet. Do you really don't think they will? Even though Diamador Lenore wants them to, and Tabor Peppers kind of wants them to also.
I mean, how you have Nick Bosa making
trade Kyle
quarterback money? If you trade Bosa, sure, but like both, how? Like that's like, what are they going to spend $70 million on your 2 defensive ends?
And how much is Max Crosby really worth?
He more than Bosa, but you can't have both. I don't see it. I don't see it.
Well,
give him the Joey.
sorry, Max.
Joey's going to be here. That's what's going to happen. Get used to it. Get used to it.
I really don't want that to happen.
The Bosa Bros, and it's going to be like instead of Splash Bros, the Bosa Bros. That's going to be what you're covering all of 2025.
This team needs to be less of a family and more of a football team.
Yeah.